Hello, everybody. You are joining us for a new episode of the Tales from Tomorrow podcast. I am going to be doing a little tech setup here briefly, and we're doing this live on Twitch. We have cameras for all of our guests tonight, which is very exciting, so pardon any little technical snafus. I'm going to be paying attention to my audio meters, especially because we've got some different ways we're piping it in. Now that we're actually doing this and we're all here and it's materializing, I'll get my soundboard moved over and shuffled over very, very soon. But let's go over to our other scene here and make sure we got everybody lined up. I've got a Skye above me and a Dark Knight below me. Hello, everybody. DK, you got your mic open. How you doing tonight?
I'm great. I'm feeling good.
Good to have you. And Skye, how are you doing? I see you're muted yourself. I don't know if you can hear me. Uh-oh, I don't think you can. Maybe we can ping Skye. I don't think he can hear us. Can Mac hear us? Mac is guest in a green room.
Lizard.
Okay, keep the spam down, but let's make sure it works here. Can someone get in touch with Skye? I don't think he can hear or see any of it.
Mm-hmm.
Skye. I don't think I can do anything to help either. Skye, can you hear us in the call? Skye, hello?
I had everyone. I think everyone's muted. I can hear y'all now.
DK, you can hear me, right? And Mac can hear me.
Yeah.
It can't be on our side. It's got to be on his. Something.
Yes, I hear many.
Okay, great. Mac's heard many voices. Many voices.
I don't think I lost you.
Maybe he just needs to rejoin or something. I'm not sure. We're getting a lot of Skye's ambient noise here too. I don't know if I can apply a filter to him. I might, but I'm not really sure how to do that.
We did toy around with a filter the last time we tried this out.
Yes, it does say that it's on, and it is on for him, sound isolation. But I am still hearing sound that's not that. Huh. Wonder why it's stopped working for him. I think something happened on Skye's side there. Something's bizarro. We can just boot him from it and he can rejoin it. Well, that's the fun of some tech troubles.
Skye got the gremlins.
That's right, Mac. That's right. That happens. Little bit of gremlins. Where's our chat to see what we got going on Twitch and all the rest? For those at home, I don't really watch it during the stream, but I do appreciate everyone out there chatting. I just like to stay in the headspace for our game. I will go ahead and then I'll prep a message to send out live on Discord.
He likes to stay involved in the game so he can be on his tippy toes when he's ready to pounce in and kill one of us.
Well, there's certainly the likelihood of that happening tonight. Skye, can you hear us now?
Yes.
Okay.
Blast Raven off the roof.
Yes, blast Raven off the roof. That's right. Why not? Skye, we are hearing some background audio from you tonight. Okay. I don't know if that's something you're able to mute out on your side. I've got a filter on you guys, but it doesn't seem to be stopping it. Sounds like TV noise, especially.
Is that better?
Hard to tell yet.
Okay. All right.
I need to crop my camera so we're all good. We're all just doing. It's actually working. Like I don't think it's actually cropping it the way I want it to. Oh, well, did I buy myself enough space? Kind of want to lean in here. Okay. I think we got good audio, but if we got anyone at home in Twitch chat, I'm not sure that we do, let us know. Our TTRPG tonight, we could use some tech checkers in chat to let us know it all sounds good. Okay, send that ping out. Get some people up in here. Okay, so we got Raven, we got DK, we got Skye. Everyone's good to go. Can I test my music to see? You guys aren't gonna hear
It
this.
sound okay, I think.
Good. Oh, that's not gonna get caught anywhere, is it? Is that a good thing? Well, it just might mean I have to move the audio in the old-fashioned way. Okay. No rip daring unless I do it this way. Edit. Find me that rip daring file. Oh, good, it did. Heyo. Rip daring season 9. There we go. That's what I need. And what's the other one called? Oh, well, who knew it was going to be that easy? What's this one called?
Who's ready to party?
I'm ready to party.
Yeah? Oh boy.
Burn it.
Oh God, what are we burning?
Yeah, who or what?
Who or what? Yeah.
Who or what?
You will see.
Well,
Take away my sound effect. Cool. Don't really know what an appropriate audio level for this though. That's probably good. Eyeball that. Testing. Okay, hello, I'm talking at this level, and that audio would be at that level. Okay, that looks good. At least visually. Okay, I'm good to start it off then, gang. We'll dive into it today. I will do a video swap. That's how I know this is when to begin. Let me make sure the source will work over here too. Okay, sorry, Kyle, I'm teasing you later, so you're seeing double. So press these both buttons at the same time and hope for the best. Hello, everybody. You are tuning in for a new episode from Tales from Tomorrow, our Fallout TTRPG that we host each week on Sunday here on twitch.tv/Overseer Kyle. And we also are now co-streaming over to our YouTube channel, which goes by the name Tales from Tomorrow. Nice and easy, a great place you can go and catch these syndicated episodes. And in addition, you can catch our Overseer's logs and many other little pieces that I get to capture as little shorts from around the set, and much more. In addition, I'd recommend you go check out our other page, Overseer Kyle, on YouTube. Again, keeping all the names simple and unified, and all the links for everything we talk about tonight will be available at overseerkyle.com. As a reminder, we have a Bethesda gear discount code that can save you 20% off at checkout, and that code is Vault-2. You can see it flashed up here on screen. Vault-2! Use that to save yourself 20% off, and it gives a healthy kickback to the stream as well. Reminder that, again, all the podcasts, overseerkyle.com. And if you want to support us, I know it's already in the corner down there, but you can go over to our coffee page, ko-fi.com/Overseer Kyle, if you choose to financially support this show. Also, as you want to get together and hang out with this community, Discord's the place to go. All that's linked in the description below. But we're not going to talk too much about any of that. You can go check out the Overseer's log if you want to learn more. What we're going to talk about this week is a brief recap and an introduction to all of our players, because tonight we've got them on camera. We've got Skye on cam and DK on cam, and it is a big night. Tonight is the trial of Jim Wayne, part 2. Last week, Jim's team tried to get him off the hook for a rather raucous murder that took place in the town, resulting in the death of a cultist that the town was keen on. And now DK and his friends await an update on the trial. Day 1 went rocky, but overall net positive as the jurors were swayed slightly to Jim's cause. Today, it's up to Jim and his companions to see if they can turn the tide for all of the people in the town. Can they win them over? Let's go over to our game screen and introduce Skye up above me playing Sam. Hello, Skye. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Hello in the flesh.
Excellent. It's good to have you here. Thank you for being with us tonight. And below me, I have Dark Knight, who plays Jim. Hello, DK.
Hello, how are you?
I am good, thank you. How are you? What's the
Pretty
plan for tonight with Jim?
Try not to die.
Try not to die. A noble plan, if I've ever heard one. Okay, gang, we also have a Mac Raven on the side. Hopefully she can still hear us and talk to us through her text-to-speech bot. Her character, Raven, the Mothman cultist, has been up on the roof of the church, causing maybe some trouble in the future here. Raven, can we hear you?
Yes.
Yes. I tested it. That was captured in the recording earlier, so I'm going to hope that it is now. But if anyone's at home, I would call out to our audience a severe request. If you're in the Twitch chat tonight, please speak up if you think you perceive an audio issue. It's not in your head, it's real. So many times people are very polite and they don't want to say anything until it's very late and the recording is over. So please don't be that person. Don't be too polite tonight for everyone's own good. Speak up if it seems like someone else's audio isn't coming through. It's not in your head. It's for real. So that big tech caveat out of the way, I want to remind folks that we are in the town of Hope. We had just exited the trial itself, and I believe people were about to go. They hadn't even, I don't think, broken from the room yet. I think the mayor had just said he was going to give his summary at this point. Is that what everyone else has in mind? That he's about to speak up and give that? I probably should have double-checked it, but Raven's up on the roof, I believe. Don't be shy, gang.
I think that he was going to say something, but I also don't know if we were going to have like one more go. Like one more dice roll.
I think there's one more dice roll. And I kind of want to see, maybe we could pick up with Raven and check out what she wants to do then as you know, her being in the rafters. If you want to take some time, Raven, the court has some things to say. But it's sort of up to you if you've got something you're doing already. Maybe have Jim and Sam speak. Oh, Raven wants to see them do some stuff. So you're going to stay up there. Let's reorient everybody. Raven, you're up there on the roof itself. Are you trying to like get a window into the room? It's a church roof, so it's not really got a way, unless it's not a leaky roof up there either. So you're on a roof. I'm wondering how you might want to be getting like a visual of the courtroom. Because it's my understanding you're on the top of it. You can see the church too in the actual scene here. It's the white church, so you're, somewhere up there. We got Jim situated on the interior. We got Sam situated next to Jim, I believe, and then we got Rusty there next to him. Let's get all of our characters squared away in our minds.
I am in that little room like that one we see in 76.
Okay, so you've gone in then through the little, you've gone in through the top, through the steeple sort of area. Maybe you're in one of the things that, looks out over, it's a balcony, sort of interior balcony for the church, looking over the pews. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Well, Raven, why don't we have you start off with another stealth check, just to see where we are up there. This is a low difficulty one. I just want to know where you're at. Difficulty 2. Now that we've got a whole different thing situated in my mind that you're inside, cue that up for us. Difficulty 2, stealth check. And then we're gonna start working on 2. Great. By the skin of your teeth, you slide past, almost knock something off, almost like bump a pile of books that almost fall, and whoop, Raven's feisty and fast enough that she can catch him and write him. It's while you're getting in and situated upstairs that the mayor says, "This hearing has come near its conclusion. We will break for recess before we hear any other outstanding arguments after this session. Our jurors are encouraged not to talk to the witness or suspects in question. We ask that you stay as impartial and as dedicated to the law as any good person from Hope would be. We request that everyone re-adjourns in 1 hour." And he bangs his hand on the table as a gavel. And with that, some people get up, especially those in the back of the church, begin shuffling out. You now have a Mayor Smiles who turns and he goes into that little closet that's right off the church, the sort of armory area. And he's sort of using that as his away from activity space. That leaves us with Sam, Rusty, Jim. You three are still seated at the table up front. We're going to toss it to all of you. And the rest of the people are again filing out, Tom, Lena, and everyone else, going back to that kind of street festival fair that's going on outside.
So how do you figure we've come on this this trial here? You know, with the jury. How do you think how many we think we've got?
We might have swayed a couple, but I'm sure that there's still a few that are on the rocks. I think we got to come up with something big. I think they're going to have to hear something from you, Jim, straight from the horse's mouth. I think that might be how we can try to sway the last couple jurors. But we're going to have to pull something fast because it's looking grim.
Mm.
Do you have any thoughts, Rusty?
Well, my first thought, Sammy boy, is that those tapes did not teach me much. In fact, they said that it was a really glamorous life being an attorney, and there's supposed to be a bunch of scantily clad pinup ladies all around the office and fetching me coffee and I don't see it, Sammy boy. This is nothing. Maybe these were just some good old what do you call them? Like a PG romance or something. That's it's softcore. Anyway, they're garbage, and this court's a bunch of garbage too. Look, my advice to both of you is, well, there's two options here. One, we could smuggle him out. Two, I could offer to buy him, and he could work at my farm until he gets off of this. What do you think? That's, I think, number one. Shuffling you out's gonna be costly and timely, and I don't really want to die. So maybe a work release program, but maybe, you come work for me.
Well, I don't know if Jim wants to be an indentured servant, and I'm not sure we'd be able to escape in time if we did try to smuggle him out. I mean, we're quite outnumbered and outgunned right now. So I'm not sure about either of those options. And just wait until we get out there with the Protectrons. They'll definitely get on our way. So I don't know. I don't know about those, Rusty.
Okay, well, not to spoil too many ideas, but also to remind you, there's all that Mothman dust still sitting around on the boat, right? What do you say we lace the whole courtroom with Mothman dust? Maybe the whole town. Get them all cooked out on Cocoa Puffs and we get the hell out of here.
Oh, maybe Raven's thought of that. She's out there. She might get the opportunity to do it. Maybe she can hear us now. It might put the thought into her head.
Is she here? Hello?
Knocks on the wall
Well,
next to you.
You never know. She could be communing with the Mothman right now. She's got a way of being able to see places that she's not at.
Well, Jim.
I write note to Sam saying you want me to help anymore and drop it to Floor and Sam. They never seen me get up here. I could sneak him out.
Hey, Sammy, there's a note at your feet.
I will bend down and read it. I'll kind of look at it in shock, seeing that it's from my friend Raven. And I'll kind of, I'll look around, like up, down at the rafters, the second floor, see if I can see anything. But my eyes aren't as good as they used to be, so I'm not. And I'll just kind of.
I give a little wave.
I'll give like a 1 second. I do want to. I turn to the others and I say, I want to see how this plays out. Maybe that could be our last resort. He's not guilty yet.
Well, Jim, then it sounds like you better be pouring your heart out if they're gonna give you that option.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty good at crying on command. So if you ever need a little tear, I can do that for you.
Well, too bad that didn't keep us from this pickle. But hey, we're here, and I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna see what sort of street food they're offering. It smells great, and we'll see what else is going on.
Rusty proceeds to head towards the door. Are you all staying in this courtroom? Are you headed out? I'm going to try and get in touch with Raven above you.
Well, I kind of hate to say it, but I might be having the need to go and get what could be my last meal.
Sure. So as a reminder, outside there are kind of various street vending stalls set up, little impromptu things, people using basic tables. You got some cooktops out there. There's a lot of Mirelurk meat going around, especially after they killed that recent round of them. Probably a little rad stag. There's some potatoes that are grilled up. There's pretty basic fare, but still, again, that kind of street fare excitement to it. I want to say that there might even be some attempts at modern versions of like a Nuka dog, something like a Nuka something on a stick, but it it's probably squirrel bits and things like that. So is what's Jim going for anything in particular? What suits his fancy out there for a last meal?
Nah, I'll try some squirrel bits.
Yeah, you go over and one of the people you've seen work in the cafeteria sees you come up and goes, "Oh, you're the one that they're trying in there, aren't you?"
Yep, that would be me.
Well, consider this a free meal on the town here, man. It's unfortunate what's going on. But, everyone's got to have their own way of justice. Gotta respect it.
Well, I appreciate the free meal.
Yeah.
It is tough. I mean, but I have my reasons for what I had to do. But of course, the town, they need to feel like they got to get their way. So,
Yeah. Well, hey, at least these aren't, at least it's a town of nice settlers, not raiders. A lot of them, they put you in a cage, they skin you while you're alive, sometimes eat you while you're alive. It's a whole ordeal. And we had a whole group here even called the Gourmands. And I just think it's really nice that they're not the ones that are here in charge of the town. I just consider myself awfully lucky that I'm not owned by any raiders. I'm just able to cook for people, even the guilty. I'm able to help out all kinds here, and that's more than we can say for most places in the Wastes, isn't it?
Well, that's at least some good thing to look at. We're not under the command of raider force trying to subjugate us.
Yeah, thank goodness. It scares me hearing all that stuff about the free radicals down the way, and also those creatures from the pit. I just hear some awful tales up there. You ever been up that way yourself?
As a matter of fact, that's where I came from.
Wow. Well, That explains maybe a little bit. I don't know. That's a tough place, huh?
Oh, you tell me about it. Like, it was one of those watch over your shoulder type places. You couldn't get around without being cautious.
Well, I see that's why we got
travelers coming down this way as it is. Tell us terrible stories. They say there's a whole band of raiders up that way that, well, I guess they torture people into joining them, so that's a good thing to get out of. I wonder if you ever told the town about your struggles and where you're from. Maybe they'd be a little more lenient on you. You never know. Buy yourself out of some trouble with some sympathy.
Well, hey, that's something I should consider. I mean, I literally, from the get-go, decided not to spill any of my own words out there because, you know how it is back in the old days before the war. Anybody who tried to defend themselves without a lawyer, it didn't go so well.
Well, these aren't Wasteland, or these aren't the courts of pre-war, so I'd go at it whole hog and make sure to do your best, because, well, we're trying to build back something nice here, something civil. And sometimes to keep your civility, you gotta break a few eggs. And, well, it seems like you might have broken a few too many of the wrong ones, but that's just how it goes. And maybe this town isn't even the place for you. You could always run. I mean, I think I'd consider it if I were in your shoes, but I'm not. I got a nice little house over there that I tend to, and a little garden out back. I try not to ruffle any feathers, and the feathers don't ruffle me.
Well, that's nice to hear. I will consider the run option, although that would be the nuclear last resort, because I don't want to. I want to try to get out of this cleanly.
I see. Well, then you better butter up those judges, huh? Those jury members. Maybe you could take an extra squirrel bit nuka dog with you for the road. They give you another one.
Sounds good.
Well, I got a little bit of a line. It was nice chatting with you, but the people are hungry for justice.
They sure are.
So DK, I don't even know that's an item you can add to your inventory, but if there's, there are squirrel bits to some degree in there. You can add those in if you really want to take note of an extra one. Is there anywhere you're wandering off to, Jim? Anyone you're looking for? You're maybe still grouped up with Sam. Is that true? You guys are walking together.
I think so. Yeah.
Is there anyone Sam's heading off to as well? Then
I might break away and go to the back of the church and kind of look around to see if I can see Raven up there.
Oh, sure.
Do I need
Maybe we could say you do a little bit of this while Jim was doing his squirrel bits.
For sure.
So, yeah.
Do I need to roll a perception check to see her?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to have you do. Yes.
Sure.
Not too hard. You're looking for, so I'll actually, this is one of the times I'll get a little bit better into the rules, Sam, and say, since you already know you're looking for her and she's not terribly hidden, this is a test you could choose to pass at a 0 difficulty or difficulty 1 if you want to earn AP for it. This is just a rule mechanic that I don't use as often, but probably should. So you can pass automatically and just say, like, I see her, or you can roll for a chance for AP here. Difficulty 1.
I'll roll for fun.
Sure, go for it.
We got to be lucky. This will set the tone. Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Patience.
Oh, wow. A 1 and a 19. Wow.
Yeah. I think that Sam's attempt to be looking up there sneaky is not going as easy as planned. I think that Sam is hoping to have broken away from the crowd easily. But as he's looking for Raven, I think he can tell that he's not being as stealthy as he'd like. He thought he was just gonna like scoot back there and have his own little space.
But as it turns out, as this lot was intended for the church, this area is very much a picnic zone. There's all kinds of, all the space that's being utilized was meant to be utilized for community events. So as you go back there, you realize, there's actually some people sitting back here, and it's not nearly as open as I thought. There's some guards up on the water wall. I'll try and swap us into that overlay here briefly that shows people the church. If it will do that on alchemy, let us try to synchronize and engage. Okay, so we're kind of looking at it almost right here that this would sort of be some of the back area to the church, and there's some guards hanging out here, like looking. You can kind of tell you're not that far from the dock. So Sam just has this thing. You see Raven, but you can tell other people know that you're doing something odd.
I'm going to play it off like I was looking for a place away from people eating to have a gray tortoise. So I'll kind of lean against the fence and strike up a cigarette and just kind of like play like I'm just kind of like my mind's wandering.
Sure, here you go. Gray tortoise for you. You can have.
Yeah.
So Sam's back there. He's trying to see Raven. Is Raven decloaking herself in any way to like make it obvious she's up there? What's she doing? Nothing.
I'm starting to feel a little sick, maybe from the fire. My head feels foggy and my chest, and I'm feeling hungry. That smell of food I haven't eaten. It been a day or two. Must stay alert, must keep watch of. My friends.
Haven't eaten in a day or two? What does happen to a raven who hasn't eaten in a day or two? If Raven hasn't eaten, everything reminds you of food and you're feeling weak and tired. For every day you are starving, you gain 1 fatigue. Fatigue. Harder to generate action points, and you lose health points. Whenever you gain action points, you reduce the amount you would gain by 1 for each point of fatigue you have. We'll say you have 1 fatigue. So for every action point you would generate because you've not eaten, and you can have eaten, just to call that out to you, but if you've insisted that you haven't, then you will always gain negative, well, always. Until you eat, you have -1 to your action points gained. You'll lose 1. Whenever you begin a scene with fatigue, you lose 1 health point for every 2 you have, so you don't lose any health points.
Okay.
So all that is right now Raven's not generating extra AP off of her actions. Well, you're generating 1 less than you usually would. So, feeling odd, feeling a little dizzy, a little foggy, a little hazy. Are you choosing to stay up there then? Are you going to try and get down and get food? It's going to be a whole other ordeal if you try to do that and get up. Just as a warning, because you're going to have to come down and people are going to notice that you were up there. And just as a reminder, because Raven was trying to play a little fast and loose with the rules this week, Hell's Bells told the guards that if they see her near the courthouse, shoot to kill. Shoot to kill. She was not told just to stay outside of it, but not near it, Raven.
Yeah, I'm staying put. Bells might shoot me.
Sure. So you're up there. Well, unless you're planning anything else extra that you need to tell us, we'll go back around to Jim, see what he's doing. We'll say we're probably about 15, 30 minutes into the hour-long break here. So time's moving through. Is there anywhere you're looking for, Jim? Anyone you're looking to talk to? This could be a time for schmoozing or something, but you'd need to schmooze someone that matters, like a jury member, not a random, like, Squirrel Bits lady.
Right.
So...
Yeah, I'll talk to some of the jury.
So you got Hell's Bells, Tom, Lena, Terry, and who did I miss off that list? Did I say Tom? I think I said Tom. Oh, Jacob the doctor.
I'll
Any
talk
of that
to
list?
Jacob the doctor.
Yeah. Okay. You find Jacob. He's let me scooch around on this map a little bit. He's kind of hanging around like a group of people. We'll say there's a lot of like the food stalls that are out in the main street here. He's kind of hanging back, chatting with some people who are doing a little bit of gardening. Like, you can tell this is not his scene. Like, he's trying to like play it sort of cool, like, yeah, I'm involved in this, but like I'm not also trying to like condone or support, I should say. I'm not trying to support an execution. So you see him over there like pecking at some of the food on his plate. Me going up there and saying to him,
Hey Jacob, how you feeling?
hey, good to see you, Jim, but man, I'm not sure we're even supposed to talk. How are you feeling after everything?
Well, a little worried. I'm not sure where everything stands, but I'm hopeful that we can get this thing taken care of in a correct way and get back to what we need to do.
Well, I mean, I should be pretty tight-lipped out here, but I gotta say, it's not sounding good, man. The case they have against you, it kind of makes me sick. You know, I was treating those orb cultists right before you gunned that one down, and it doesn't sit well with me. It's not what we're here for. It's like you were just saying. It's not our mission. Our mission's not to kill people. Mine's to heal, to help as many people as I can. And man, that one came right past me. I didn't even have a chance to heal them. They were already carting them out in a bag, burying them out in the cemetery that night. I don't know why you did it.
Yeah. Well, you know, I had my reasons. I mean, they kind of escalated situations, but anyway, I mean, it's neither here nor there. What's done is done. We just got to look towards the future.
No, that's right. We got to make sure that Hope has a good future. I'm not much of a law and order type of guy myself, but we got to have a safe future. We can't be just gunning each other down. You gotta. Let me just say, Jim, from one man of science to another, you got a lot to prove. And right now, the cards, they don't seem like they're in your favor. And if I'd be lying to you to say otherwise. So whatever you say, if you get a chance to speak at the end, if the mayor's gonna give you a moment to defend yourself, then I'd take it and I'd use it fully. It sucks to see science die in favor of violence. So if you get a chance to do it again, Jim, if you don't swing for this, never let violence take away your drive for science. Don't let it derail you. Don't let it consume you. If you could be a man of medicine like me, maybe in the next life, whether it's soon or far.
Well, as dark as that sounds, I mean, you're really on the point there. I really need to rethink, you know, going forward how I operate and behave.
The cultists are good people. I'll tell you this little extra. Actually, you know what, DK? Why don't we have you go ahead and roll Jim a speech in charisma now? We'll keep it an easy one. It's not catastrophic if it falls apart. It's a very low threshold for that. But difficulty 1. Okay. He goes, well, I'll just keep it simple and I'll say to you, Jim, those cultists didn't make a bad impression on people their first night and day here. They were amicable folks. In the wasteland, we can't
We can't be so choosy of our allies. And that doesn't mean we partner with the worst of them. It doesn't mean we bring in the bloodthirsty cutthroats like yourself. But some of these people could be brought around, and who knows what led these guys to this unenlightened sort of path they walk, following a plastic orb. You and I know better than that, but I don't know that they do. But we could have switched it for them, and now I'm even a little worried about that, if I'm being honest with you. I think if there was a chance for men like us to kind of bump them back into the land of science, I think it's swung the opposite way now. And I think that, if anything, the rest of the town's probably a little more keen to listen to them. So, but hey, I could talk your ear off, but I gotta get going, and I don't want to get in trouble for talking you out here.
All right.
So, I hope you live, Jim, or at least it's an easy send off. We'll all get to share another round, one way or the other. So see you inside there. And he kind of gives you a pat on the arm, and he heads out, turning away, because he's a little looking over his shoulders a bit. Like, he just doesn't want to be, he's not feeling like paranoid, but he also is feeling like, hey, we're right outside the courthouse, and I don't want to be like standing here too long sounding like I'm counseling this guy on it. But he did give you a little to go on.
Right.
What we got Sam doing while he's lighting up in the back? Any change for him?
I think I'm going to take a walk. I'm going to walk to the street.
Okay.
And I'm just going to get eyes on where the APC is.
Ooh, the APC is positioned the whole way down in town near that green car. So if you go straight down Main Street, there's that green car. It is parked in that lot. I'm sorry if it's easier to see on any of the screen that I'm showing you, Skye. I don't know. I can't seem to ping it in here, per se. Well, maybe I can do it in this. But if you see that lime green car at the south of the city, the APC is in that lot.
I think to myself that if we have to run, maybe we can split up. And some of us can hop in the APC, and the others can take the boat.
Wow.
And we can jettison on out of here. And I'll make like a mental note that the easiest way to get there would be taking that third street, since the car is blocking it. Maybe we could just hop in the back and get to moving. And like I look around, I see that there's like a police Protectron there, and try to like count up how many there are and how many we'd have to get through. At least just maybe like booking it, not trying to kill them.
I'm going to get you a token placed down for that. And I'm sorry if the APC does appear somewhere else in the town, too. Oopsies. If it does appear somewhere else... Oh, you know what? I think I do see it, like, outside of the thing by the dock.
Yeah, it's to the left of that. Yeah, exactly.
I don't think it was parked there. I don't know if it was or not. But I remember before having the conversation of it being down here. So today... it's parked down there. It's sort of in a defensive position where it's like, it's got its gun tilted outwards. It can be pretty easily backed out onto that road, but it's got its gun pointed, that if any creatures were coming up the road, that they would have pretty easy firing sights on it. Resynchronize this for the stream and see if it does any better. But anywho, there you go, folks at home. You can see the APC's parked in here. There we go. Okay. So Sam's got eyes on the APC. We're coming to the top of our hour. People are generally starting to pack up and go back in. Raven, we got anything different from you? IRL, we're coming to our 1 hour since we're in the show. So also, I think it would probably do well for us to get through Raven's a little bit here, and then we can take our 10-minute, and then we can come back and pick up with the rest of the show. Get into the real meat and potatoes of it. So, Raven, what are you up to?
I go to overlook area and rest there hoping I don't get caught.
Okay. Okay, so Raven's sitting up there hoping not to get caught. Anything she's seeing all the people come back in. She's probably picking up and kind of maybe doing a little bit of a mental clock on all the people who are going, Raven, why don't we have you do an open... I'm going to have you do a difficulty 2 perception and survival just to, again, give us... You got the eyes up there. How well can you do at this? I'm giving you difficulty 2. I don't really know why. Maybe because you're staying hidden. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Do you have some luck?
Yeah. Woo, Raven got a 1 and a complication. It's the complication I care about most here. The not getting to, get a full scope on who's there makes some sense, right? You're at a single vantage point, so you're not going to be able to see, everyone that comes into the church from the other angle, let's say. I get that. But that complication, though, is the difference of you might maybe find it a loose floorboard, maybe one of those grenades in your pockets, pins not in there as much as you think. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, she decided to use a luck point. There we go, folks. Take 1 luck away, Raven. You got 2 eyes on it. So what I'm going to say, that sets the scene a bit for you and your stealthiness in this next portion when we come back from our break. So you now, having corrected for that, you've got good eyes on who's coming in. I will say you found the loose floorboard up there that you almost stepped on, almost had your foot go through. In fact, I would say when you went to go and it cracked, but people coming into the courthouse or the church courthouse, whatever, didn't notice. They're too busy. You can hear the shuffle down there. You hear them actually checking the step beneath them, thinking I thought I almost broke through. Oh, no, you're fine. So they're kind of worried about their own sort of things. They're not looking up. They're here all the time. This is normal for them. So Raven, that being said, you have some good eyes to decide over what you want to see in the courtroom. You have made your circle on the interior while people were mostly out. The mayor has been powered down in his little closet there in the one with the military chests and all that. He's just in there. You want to call it deliberating, meditating, something like that. He's in a low power mode. But again, we will go ahead. We'll take our 10-minute break here, everybody. So get up, stretch your legs, get your drinks, and all the rest. We will be RB in 10 minutes with more of our harrowing tale. Hello, everybody. You are rejoining us for the second portion of our episode of Tales from Tomorrow, Under the Mothman's Embrace. Wilbur welcome to the Twitch chat. Good to have you out there. Today, we are deciding Jim Wayne's fate, or maybe he's deciding a bit of it for himself. And so we will return in just a moment with all of our friends here at a push of a button. And I've got Skye above me and Dark Knight below me, and Raven is in the voice chat with us. Oh, I gotta reopen my alchemy. It makes my computer run so hot, I decided to shut it down during the break. Kind of crazy. Maybe I don't even really need it up yet. Okay. I'll let that be. So as we were leaving, our characters were outside, getting situated. Jim was getting food, talking to Jacob, the doctor, one of the jurors. Sam was out back looking for a sign from Raven. Sorry, to Skye, did we get further? You had your gray tortoise. You saw Raven up there. Was there something else you decided to do that I've already spaced on?
Yes, I looked for the APC.
That's it. Thank you. That was totally out of my mind. Yes, Sam located the APC down the street. And then we departed with Raven having just kind of gotten her bearings. She's got a lay of the courthouse as it's going on. She's seen who's coming, who's going, getting it all on lock. So we are approaching the top of the hour in the game. Everyone was left out in that 1 hour break. So you actually hear Alfred out in the street here going, "Everyone, it's time! The mayor has asked that everyone return to the courthouse for our jurors and most importantly our esteemed guest, Jim. Everyone report to the courthouse. Rusty, yes, please, absolutely, go in. Oh, well, okay. Here, Alfred doing his typical, meeting and greeting and saying hello to people as everyone begins to trickle back in. Are you two meeting up inside? Are you meeting outside before you go in? Any kind of last words before all these people start to get together? Someone's looking to grab or tap from the crowd, anything like that?
I'll walk in with Jim and just whisper to him, this is it, buddy. We gotta really make this work. Otherwise, we might have to go for more drastic measures.
Well, it's certainly going to be a challenge.
Well, if you have anything to say, now's your time to plead your case, friend. It might be your last words.
Yeah. All right.
So as you all
take our seats. Sorry.
No, you're fine. You go ahead if you want to narrate that. That's what I was going to say next. So by all means, say that again for me, Skye.
I'll walk in with him and we can take our seats and just eagerly await what's to come.
Rusty comes and sits down next to you and he goes,
Sammy boy, the temperature out there is not so good. I was talking to a couple people as I was making my rounds, and remember that talk you and I had down at the Free Radicals bar, and I'd said that, maybe you guys were the bad guys after all. Well, that wasn't an invitation to prove me right. I wasn't a challenge I was setting up. I wasn't cutting out an archetype for you guys to fill in, but here we are, and I'm at the trial trying to defend one of you guys from getting the gallows, and it makes me feel like maybe old Rusty was right.
I'm not happy about it. If I could turn back time, stop all this from happening, I would. But now we just have to live with the consequences and try our best to, maybe sway some hearts and minds.
Unless you happen to know of a time machine or anything like that. Don't have any, friends you could call on in a situation like this to help us out, anything like that. No favors or mysterious devices or, I don't know, maybe something fancy, some military tech that could roll the time back. That would be great.
If only, my friend, you were my Hail Mary. So, it's just us.
Well, remind me not to play sports ball with you there, Sam. Me, your Hail Mary, I'm just an old ghoul. But you know what? I'll at least make sure Jim here gets his good time. We'll make sure that at least he gets to plead his case. I promise you that, Jim. We're gonna get you to plead your case.
And as Rusty's saying that, he's kind of getting this raucous roar because the room has sort of gotten louder. The mayor has started to, kind of trounce out from his room there, coming up to the center lectern and calls the room to order with a bang of his Protectron arm against the pulpit there.
Thank you all for returning to the trial of Jim Wayne.
In this last segment, our jurors have been able to hear cases and defenses from those in question to the party. However, now it is time for an open session for anyone who wishes to lodge a complaint or dispute. If you wish to speak up now on Jim's behalf or against him, this is your time to do so. And there begins this little murmurous, kind of like people start like whispering next to each other, and you hear Lena's voice out of the jury as she speaks up and goes, "Well, Your Honor, I can speak for the jury here. We honestly really want to know and hear from Jim himself. He's been awfully quiet in a case that directly involves him, and I think that we've got a lot of questions. I myself have some concerns about where this trial has gone and what it's covered and what it hasn't. So I think it's time for us to hear from Jim himself. If he could come up there and speak to, put him under oath, make him answer your questions, Mayor. We got some too if you need more. But let's hear from the man in question." The mayor goes, "Request processed. Jim, you are on trial defending yourself along with Rusty and Sam. You are required to step forward and sit here at the chair for questioning. You are considered under oath. If you have no deity or other being to swear an oath to, then we will consider it an oath on the sanctity of this town. Do you promise to answer all questions honestly and to the best of your ability?"
I do.
"Proceed to the seat." Jim gets up, can make his way and sit there. As Jim sits down, again, there's that raucousy sound from the room, people kind of coming to more and more attention. This is kind of the big moment a lot of people were waiting for, maybe even a little upset that they didn't get to hear from earlier in it, thinking they might hear you speak, but you taking the kind of the silent route there to not incriminate yourself. Now this kind of extended session is what we're into, and this is where a lot of the focus for the event is coming down to. Sam and Rusty, you may, we'll let you kind of jump in should you wish to help Jim while he's being questioned. A little bit of an odd pattern, and I'm saying this above board to you, to myself being Rusty, but I'm saying it to him anyway, that you guys can kind of step up for Jim if you feel like he's sort of gotten off path or into a corner or whatever it is. The mayor is treating you as part of his legal defense, although again, you're not actually up there in the seat yourself. So with that, the mayor goes, "Proceeding to questioning. Jim Wayne, you again stand accused of cold-blooded murder of a cultist which you brought to this town. You have not denied that you committed this act. However, you have said that this is a form of self-defense, and the court has found that insufficient, as you proceeded to burglarize the home before the cultists rightfully pulled a weapon in self-defense, to which you executed the cultist on the scene. We are now calling your character into question, as you have assisted the town of Hope on numerous occasions, however, have only done as much as any other person in this town. Jim, do you find yourself to be above the law in the town of Hope?"
No, I do not, actually.
So you agree with the sentencing for today?
I wouldn't agree with the sentencing, but I do agree that I am not above the law as it stands.
Do you plan to commit any heinous acts of violence like this again on any other innocent people in the town of Hope?
Straight up, no.
As this is going on, you hear kind of a murmur come from the jury. You're getting the sense that they're not very thrilled with the way the mayor is lobbing these questions. They're very final. They're very, what will you do? What if you had this chance again? Da-da-da-da-da. And you hear them finally kind of start elbowing each other to enough of a point that Lena speaks up and goes, yeah, Mayor, you said you wanted to take questions from us. This isn't what I'm looking to know. Anyone could say they're not going to kill someone in the town again, sure as rain, and they'll do it. What we want to know, I got questions if you're ready. And the mayor looks at her and goes, Juror Lena, the mechanist, please proceed to your questions. Thanks, Mayor. So, Jim, here's the thing. We don't know anything about you. You rolled up in this town weeks ago in the heat of a crisis. You brought this very Protectron with you. And honestly, it has been a high and low occasion ever since you guys got here. As much as I take to some of you killing people in our town, that crosses a line, Jim. What has made you this way? From the person I knew to the murder I see here, what has made you this way?
Well, to be honest, I guess the wasteland itself has made me into what I am. I mean, aren't we all overburdened by the realities of what we face? Are we not disgusted by what we must do to survive in this place we call the wasteland? Are we not ourselves doing whatever it takes to survive and live in this hellhole?
Well, Jim, you ask a great question. And the great answer that I can give, the best one I can give at this moment is, yes, we all live in that. And I look around me and I don't see any other murderers here but you. So what has made you come from all the same roots and pushings that we have and make you take violence against our own here in the town? We're to give shelter to those in need. Hope is a waypoint, a stopping point. Aren't you yourself even from the pit? Your people were the ones stopping here, and yet you're making it a bloodbath and a town of murder and mayhem.
Look, I will not deny that I have a curious mind, as I am a man of science. You know, what procured me to discover and take hold of that object that they hold so dear, I've done so out of curiosity, because I too am curious why or how there could be some sort of supernatural ability beholden to such a normal, average, everyday object that we all know it to be. So of course I took the hold of the object, and of course I was curious enough to see if it really did hold the power it was claimed to have. Did I know that they were going to react in such a way? Possibly. But did I know that they were going to kill me? Who knows? I didn't know, and that's why I did what I had to do. And to your question about where I've come from and what made me into this way, well, to be honest with you, I'm not sure that I am totally all together. Growing up, I was struggling immensely with mental health issues and struggling with my own dealings in life and how to overcome them. And I'm not totally back to normal, as one would say, but I am on the right path. And if you would allow me to live another day, I could show you that I can and will try my best to do better in this life.
There are some high and low murmurs that come out of the jury from that. Some people react well, especially to that last impassioned plea, but I think you would see that the faces of Tom and Lena are very soured around the subject of science being the facilitator and necessitator of violent acts, and Jacob's face as well. Like if Tom and Lena look perturbed, Jacob looks deathly. Like he has a look on his face, and before you can see, it looks like he's about to speak up, and Tom kind of puts a hand on his shoulder, and he stands up and he goes, Jim, look, trying to use the topic of science here with us. This board here is mostly made up of people of science. And pardon me to Hell's Bells and to Terry for a moment. I'm just going to say, even though there's a science to what you're doing, a science to military, and a science to selling, I'm talking about the particular scientific endeavor of questioning and critiquing and chasing down something secret. As Lena laid out for you a second ago, it is near and dear to us to welcome people and to be scientifically inquisitive. The idea that you were so infatuated by disproving someone else's faith that you would barge into their home and seize their belongings and then execute them when they try and take it back from you is in every way wrong. There's just nothing right to it. Not here in hope. Maybe again, if you want to be a raider type running through the hills, pillaging all you see, I can get you a ticket to them real fast. And before he even goes further with that, I think Jacob stands up next to Tom, kind of Tom trying to like tame him before. Jacob goes, I am disgusted to hear that kind of rhetoric used here to defend yourself. That is something deeply, mortally wounding to academia and the scientific pursuit, that you would hide a murder behind being curious. It's one thing to have done it and to say that you were ill and that we could treat you for it. But it's another to say that you couldn't help yourself for science, that you knew that there might be consequences to it. And you did it anyway. And you did it so finally, too. It's not just that someone got a black eye or a broken arm, but to have killed someone here and then blame it on science. It couldn't help yourself. Well, I mean, is that an excuse that would work for me if I were practicing medicine on people? If I said, oh, well, I just need to, I'm so curious if this cure works. Why don't I just inject the whole town with all these ailments? I would be flayed alive for malpractice, for malice, for harming a whole group of people. There are lines, Jim. We swear oaths that we are not to do harm. Me as a doctor, I do. And if only maybe you had taken that route, maybe you'd not be putting our innocence into the ground so soon. You know what? I don't even know what to say about this. Mayor, I have my verdict on this. I can cast my ballot whenever. And Tom goes, hold on. We'll let. If Jim wants to, Mayor, if it's okay by you, if Jim wants to have more words about this, we'll keep old Jacob in check here. He can hold his vote. If you're decided on it, Jacob, that's fine. I'm not trying to convince you, but let's give the man his due process here.
Thank you. Let me pose you with a question. Should Robert Oppenheimer not have been on trial for what he had done in the name of science? Again, the man did claim that he was using science to build a bomb that, as we know now, literally destroyed the entire world. Should he not have been on trial? Again, Should the guy who invented the gunpowder that was used to create firearms that killed millions every year, should he not be on trial? Why did those people get to go free and be seen and deemed as heroes of science? Yet here I stand on trial for something that I now regret doing, but then again did so in the name of science. Why should I be on trial if these others who have done way worse than I have be not seen as criminals of the world?
Lena slams her hands down on the table and she goes, "That's it! I am leaving. I'm with you, Jacob. Mayor, if we are going to have some sort of Looney Tunes show trial here where the man on trial for killing someone is trying to throw this court into such disarray, Mayor, I don't know what to tell you except that my vote is made up. I have made up my mind. This is a sick and perverse misuse of science and of justice and of law. Those people he's talking about should have got their comeuppance, but the fact that they didn't because of some previous legal system, the fact that they got to run free after they committed these crimes has somehow twisted this man's brain into thinking that he can get away with just as heinous of acts, murder of one, great as many of murder. What is this nonsense we're hearing here? What kind of dirty logic is this man laying down? Tom is now like struggling to he's got two firebrands on his sides, and Terry and Hell's Bells, they're kind of to the wings of this on both sides, in their jury panel, and they're not as angry per se. Tom's not really needing to control them either, but Lena and Jacob are about sealed on their opinions there. Tom goes, hey, both of you calm down. Is that really the logic you're going with there, Jim? That because other people got away without being held accountable, you somehow have a license to kill anyone that gets in your way of your scientific pursuits? Is that correct?
Not precisely. In fact, what I was trying to argue is that the same men who have done way worse in the name of science received far less of a punishment than I have. In fact, the punishment I'm purported to be receiving, I think, is well overblown, considering that I, one, regret my actions, two, only did it out of what I purport to be self-defense, because let's be real, they did pull their guns in an attempt to possibly kill me, and I could not let that happen. And three, the life that I took, yes, it was wrong, but it was only one person. These other people who have gotten off with less of a punishment killed millions. And I think that at least at this very stage, I should at least be considered that, yes, what I did was wrong and I should be punished, but not for something as crazy as what you're purporting that I should be punished with.
That just seems like a hell of a twisted logic there. You're saying that because under a different system people got away with these killings that you shouldn't be thoroughly punished for yours, or at least you're thinking that because they didn't get as big of a punishment that yours should be lessened. I don't represent those courts, and I don't think anyone here does. I just am talking about justice here and now. Be damned the pre-war people. They ruined the world. But this is a heck of a statement, Jim. You've given me a lot to think about here. Mayor, I might need a moment myself. Maybe the jury should break for a recess.
I'm going to pause here.
Something.
Yes, and then tap you guys. Yes. They're doing their thing. Sam, let's go to you.
I would like to make a point. I would like to say that if we put this man to death today, what difference does that make between us and, again, those people who destroyed the world, and the raiders outside? They thoroughly believe in an eye for an eye, and I think that we could be better than that.
The mayor tilts to you, Sam, and goes, "Well, Samuel, the raiders outside the town of Hope do not believe in an eye for an eye. They are all for rampaging. They do not believe in a justice system, but instead a civilization built on power and those who can take it by force. It is to say that their leadership is by coup. They kill whoever is in power and not as powerful as they, thus leading to an infinite change in leadership. But under previous American democracy and other systems of governance, we use a system that is punitive. That is to say, if someone commits a crime that falls under a category, we have a predefined response in line. The one that was selected for this case, where murder of an innocent newcomer was committed by Jim, we have selected murder as a substantive result. In this case, the equation would be that Jim is no longer here to threaten the lives of other people in the town. This is different than raiders because raiders would instead praise those who kill. Instead, raiders would give Jim the title of mayor. However, we do not work under those rules."
So, you said that you would murder Jim for a murder, which in turn makes you a murderer. So, does that not deserve a trial?
No, because this act of murder is in response to one. It is not the initiator, the prime mover, so to speak. It does not exist without the initiator act. It in itself is only a response.
I shrug at Jim, and I said I thought that might throw him in some sort of loop. I kind of look around at everyone, and I think back to something Lena had said, where she said that she doesn't see any murderers around here. And, I kind of look at everyone and I say, I know that none of you were on trial here, but if we were to look back into any of one of our backgrounds, who's to say that we didn't, directly kill someone or inadvertently kill someone ourselves? Maybe some food that you took from a house that you thought was abandoned before you came here belonged to someone and they ended up dying of starvation. I myself fought in Anchorage, and there were plenty of situations where, the Reds didn't fire first, and I did. But I felt like I was protecting myself, which I imagine Jim was feeling very similar at the time. And all that is to say is that if we dig into any of our backgrounds enough, again, who's to say that there's not some skeletons in our closets as well that we left behind when we came to Hope? And if any one of us were to be facing something like this, would we not beg for mercy?
Again, some murmurs amongst that crowd. A little above board stuff. So DK wants to speak in a second here, and he's raising his hand to do it. And while that's happening, Raven wants a chance to speak. You gotta figure out what the heck you're doing, though. You're in the rafters. So you gotta you gotta figure out what you're doing, because you gotta get down. I don't. Are you gonna jump down from the rafters? Or are you just shouting out that you're up there? I mean, there's all kinds. Or maybe she's gonna throw a satchel charge at Lena.
She's gonna make us think that she's the voice of God up there in the top of the church.
Oh my gosh, lay it on us. Okay, let's go back to Jim. He wants to speak. I think there were some like comebacks to what Sam had to say there, but I think those people are just keeping it to themselves for a moment. So Jim, you raise your hand. Let's hear from you.
May I for a moment point out the hypocrisy of the town here for a second? Let's see. You're here worried and upset that one cultist's life was taken by accident, so to speak, in this unfortunate event. But weren't you just here weeks ago? Were you just not here a few weeks ago? Not just ready to gun down my friend Raven for being a cultist? Were you not ready to take her and have her executed for being one of those Mothman cultists? I mean, this is hypocrisy. I'm here on trial, and you're all upset about the death of a cultist, but yet here you were just weeks ago wanting to take the life of my friend Raven because she just seemed to be a little bit off.
Jim, go ahead and roll a difficulty 1 charisma check on that one.
Speech and charisma?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I help him if he passes?
Yeah, he's good though. He's fine with that. With that, you hear the very soft-spoken to this point Hellspell say, "Well, maybe I could speak to that actually. The attempted killing of your friend. I was there that night and I stood up for her. I at least tried my best to make sure they didn't. All I can say to that, Jim, is those people showed a lot more restraint that night than you did. Your friend Raven here was about to be executed, you're right. But there's a good reason for it. As you all have seen, as you all have brought to this town, those Mothman cultists, look what they did to our jail. Look what they did to Lena in the APC. I mean, every encounter we've had with them is one where we barely have made it out alive. Still, even with that amount of carnage, and I'll admit, those things happened afterwards, but even with that amount of animosity that these cultists show, our people still showed an awful lot of restraint, and Raven has been a welcome member of this town, and I don't doubt that she gets the odd look here and there, but also note that the tools she carries around are a morbid artifact to her origins. She has a bow made of human bones, if you haven't seen for yourself, and, well, I might turn my stomach, and I don't think that that's very civilized folk, but I will say, I will ask why you didn't show that same level of restraint that those drunk bar thugs, pardon me to my own crew who works in my guard, but those bar thugs who've since been disciplined, why they had more character, more courage, more conviction, more restraint, seeing a greater threat. But it's my understanding, as I get to know the facts of this case, you even traveled with these cultists before you killed them. They helped you. Some of them even gave their lives helping recover this APC. And your thank you was to invade their home, to steal their beloved sacred artifact, to be offended when they try and take it back from you. Jim, I feel like my vote has been cast in this matter too, Your Honor. I think I've said what I need to say. Who is Raven gonna try and come down from the rafters? You also, Raven, have the choice. You could throw that. You could just destroy the whole town. What you gonna do? I'm revving up Raven for
Us
whatever the hell.
included.
She's probably rigged the whole town with, like, nukes at this point. What you got? What's your plan, Raven? Also, to give an update while she's typing, the jurors have been very soured by these defensive pleas. I think the one about science and manipulating that probably did the biggest one in alienating the majority of the jury from you, with 3 scientists being very offended by by that idea. And then I think you lost Hell's Bells when you kind of drew that parallel where, which just went through. So I think at this time, this jury is looking pretty stacked with one person. Terry's just like holding on to a can of cram, like, What's Raven got for us?
I load bow and fire my arrow at the pillar, saying I could have killed anyone here, but I made an oath to wise not to take any more town people lives or other wastelands that are peaceful. Don't me take back my oath. I left that live a year ago, but you know I could kill everyone in this room if choose to. Let Jim repay you another way. Please don't hang him.
Okay. Well,
Oh, good God. Oh, God.
I can kill everyone in this room.
Jesus Christ.
I need you to roll a level, a difficult. Oh, I'm going to go for it, Raven. You better use every AP you can buy. You can do it. Difficulty 5 speech and charisma check to which your friends can assist you. Difficulty 5. You just threatened to kill a whole room of people and you've launched a flaming arrow? Okay, you launched a flaming arrow in a wooden church. I'd also I'd like to have you in a minute here also roll a
Not flaming.
You did say it says no, it doesn't. I'm sorry.
To fire her arrow.
Fire my arrow. I apologize. Thank you for the correction. I'm so sorry. I was hoping it was a fire arrow. Sorry. Okay, good restraint. That's the restraint we're talking about.
There's a wee bit of restraint.
Just burn down the whole church. Okay, so you've got a really tough test, the toughest I've ever issued, and I think in good formatting. Now, bad news, you guys have no AP in your pool. You've got 1. So if you want to buy the remaining AP to roll 5 dice total, Raven, then I will get credited 5. I will get credited 5 points. Is that the direction you want to go? You want to stack this roll, or you don't have to do that, but I'm strongly encouraging.
Okay, that is fair.
Okay, so all of that, I also don't really care too much about my own action point pool, but there you go. I've taken them all. So Raven, you will roll 5 on this, and assuming you get 1 success, your friends can each roll to assist you in this matter. So you're rolling 5 dice for a speech and charisma test. I'll reread that for people at home. It says, I load my bow and I fire my arrow at the pillar, saying, I could have killed anyone here, but I made an oath to the wise Mothman not to take any more townspeople's lives or others in the wasteland that are peaceful. Don't make me take back my oath. I left that life a year ago, but you know I could kill everyone in this room if I choose to. Let Jim repay you another way. Please don't hang him. That last line seems a little clunky. I'd cut that. Let Jim, you want to say it threateningly, Mac. Let him do it another way. Okay, so out of a 5 difficulty test, Raven's got 2. Even if Sam and Jim succeed, that is not enough to pass this test. So speaking above board, you could use your luck to re-roll a couple of those and hope to get them down. Raven's not a charismatic or speech-inclined person, so you need to roll under a target number 4. That's brutal for a test like this. I'm sorry you got such a hard one, but let's try and fluff those numbers a bit. So if you re-rolled, I don't know, how much luck, what's your total luck and how much do you have left? Let's start there. What's your total luck and how much you got left? I'm seeing that you've got maybe 4 luck in your pool.
I have 4.
Okay. So you could re-roll 4 of those, and I do it in a single increment order. So you could, wait, how many dice rolled here? 3? Wait. This isn't even correct. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You rolled 7 dice here. So let's fix that up first. So ignore the 9 and the 6. Neither of those counted to help you anyway, right? Those were all irrelevant. So we'll take the top row. You've succeeded on 2. So it's the 7, the 17, and the 14 that you want to re-roll. It doesn't really matter in this case. There's not, per se, a complication linked to those. So you could go just in order of those 3 if you want. You'd have the action points. Okay, none on that. None on that.
No.
Now hold off on... Well, actually, can she hold off on this one? Because I'm going to say Sam and Jim could help, but if Raven doesn't succeed this next one, then there's no helping. It just wouldn't pull through. Why don't you go ahead in that 14? If you want, Raven, if you want. It all comes down to this. If you succeed on this, then Sam and Jim succeed on theirs. You got it, but it's pretty precarious.
Oh. Damn.
So, with that threat issued, and an arrow hitting the
Okay, nuka time.
table, I'm trying to think how does this even go from here, folks? This is nuts. I think it goes something like this. As Raven sets off the arrow, it hits the pillar. She, through her vocabulator, modulated to the highest volume it can, bellows out from above. The people in the room, taken aback, this threat, this rather lengthy threat that's yelled from the rafters about, I could kill you, and this kind of hard to see arrow, all things considered, since it's not flaming, it's not very like super obvious. Some people see it and kind of hear the thud. The mayor, unbeknownst to like the most people in the courtroom, the mayor quickly locks on to your position and goes, warning, citizens, this is now a free fire zone. Just sends up lasers up to your direction. Hell's bells, hits the deck instinctively. Rifle off of her shoulder, seeing where the mayor is shooting, clocks you. Pow, pow, pow. She fires off 3 shots. We'll do damage for all this in just a moment. We have some security in the room who are also now kind of running into, kind of hiding behind pillars now, getting an idea of what's what in this scene. So, Raven, I'm going to roll damage here in just a minute. And if you're planning up your next attack, you can go ahead and kind of let us know. You can go ahead and start typing that. I am going to... Okay, so 1 success would hit you up there, Raven. Let's get some dice to do some rolls. So the mayor gets his hit on you. And I think he's going to spend some of these action points you just gave me, Raven. We're gonna get real saucy and spicy up in here. Right? Let's have some fun with it. Two, 4. How much does he roll for this? Let me double check his number. Okay, so the mayor hits you. That was 3 points of damage, and that was 4 points of damage. Okay, Raven, 4 energy damage to the right leg. I'll type this for you if I can here. 4 energy right leg. And of course, you can take your weapons damage or your armor's damage resistance against this. And it seems another shot to your right leg. That must be the exposed part here, where you take 3. Okay, so there's your 2 numbers. You can let us know. And then I just need to pull up this guy's hunting. Oh, hell's bells. What gun does she use? I already forget. Is she in here as a character? Turn up some of this Mothman music. In Hell's Bell's return fire to you, Raven, she gets a hit on your left leg for 3 energy damage. So she fired off 3 shots, is what I said. So she can only do 2. I think I said that's more, whatever it might. And she does another 2 to your left leg. Wow, they're really hitting your legs. Okay, Raven. So you've taken a cumulative total damage without any damage resistance of 4, plus 3 is 7, plus 3 is 10, plus 2 is 12 points of damage in the 2-shot opening salvo against you. What is your health like? How is Raven doing? You, again, may have some damage resistance there. I will set the scene for the other guys as you're still doing this. So, complete chaos in the courtroom. Most of the town's, like, average people, the kind of the NPC townsfolk have sort of hit the deck. They're behind the pews. There's some screaming starting now, especially with the weapons fire, because the mayor sort of opened fire almost directly upon the congregant sort of energy, right? Like, he's standing up there front and center. Jim's probably fairly next to him, seated, and that arrow and all that, and, now he's let fire from his hand lasers up into the rafters there. I think there'd probably be small bits of, like, church that are now, like, combusted up there. Those lasers start little fires, so there might be little, like, small smoldering bits. I throw my bow and my weapon down to courtroom floor to show, in a show of mercy, I crumble to the floor in pain. 7 HP now if I add it right. So we're gonna do a difficult, and I'm sorry I'm doing this to you, but you just got zapped a whole bunch. Let's do a difficulty 3, strength and athletics, to see if you can get down there the way you want to. Because if you fail this, you are going to fall out of the rafters from this. So, and I feel okay, difficulty 3, not only you hurt, but this is your specialty here. To Jim and Sam, if you guys want to do anything in a moment like this, I mean, this isn't good. This is real bad optics, is what I'd say. But everything is recoverable. And if you guys want to do specifically rolls that might even be able to carry you more than just your own, like, words can, we can always you try some real silver tongue in here, you guys. But we're shooting up the courtroom right now. Raven's going for it. 0. Boo! With that laser fire, you come crashing down with part of that balcony area right into the center, collapsing along with wood from the beams and the pillars, the handrails up there, all come crashing down. You are now in the middle, laid out prone in the middle of this church. I'll do us back into this. I'm sorry that I don't have this scene queued up, the actual courtroom itself. Let's see if I can get our folks back to that with a little bit of a refreshy poo. There we go. Okay. And on stream, let's zoom in here. So we are in the courthouse. Whoops, it moved against my will. Okay. Let's get rid of those little markers here. So okay. So there we are in the room. Sorry, the program's working against me, you guys. And now we've got a Raven who is splayed out, like, right in the kind of just the dead center of the place. You can imagine these pews are a little more off to the side than they are. But, you got this group of your peers. There's you got Rusty up front, probably where Tom is. These guys are back here with Terry and stuff. And you got Rusty up there with Sam. Move him off to the side. Raven, you've, like, collapsed down in front of all of this. And the Protectron goes, "Free fire zone has ended. Citizens, please return to your homes immediately. This area is now under martial law. Protesters will be shot." And they have lasers aimed on you, Lena, her, Tom, the rest of the jurors. They look freaking horrified and appalled that you just come down in the middle of it. We don't have an exact turn order. I'm gonna talk to Skye and DK, Raven, before you figure out what you do next. What are Sam and Jim thinking seeing this? Jim, you're still up there with the mayor, up seated in this kind of front area, pulpit sort of deal. What are you thinking with Raven splayed out now?
Oh God. I don't know. I'm still in shock.
Sam, anything from Sam over there?
Oh, I'm very much in the same boat as Jim there. I'm shocked and appalled. I just kind of look around in like fear and just kind of I go over. I'll see if I can, check on her, or if the mayor's gonna point his laser at me.
You kind of slide in there again. Her middle of the aisleway there, just splayed out, sort of head and hands facing towards the mayor and to Jim there. Bow and weapon slid within reach, but they're still just slid out on the ground next to her. As you run over, the mayor does not seem to react to you, but again, there's just this horrified sort of groans that come out of the crowd, just from fear to disappointment to just mortified that this has gone on. And before anyone reacts, boom! A huge flash of light and a shaking of the building. The windows, they rattle. The best anyone can see from this point, something outside of the church has gone off. There is a cloud for those that would have the eyes to see it, and it would potentially at best be a splayed out Raven who's fallen onto the ground, who is looking, just as I imagine it here in my head, looking out to the left, looking out into the yard near where the caravan post is next to you. Over the fence to that, you see flames shooting up. And for the very astute, those who can get a grasp on it quickly, you can imagine that something in the area of the warehouse, the boat, the little dock master's office, something over there has exploded. There are bits of flaming debris and shrapnel coming down, some of it hitting loosely, not completely damaging, but hitting the windmill up there. You can even hear it go as on occasion it's hitting through random flecks of flaming papers and whatever else went up in the explosion. Raven is dazed. What is happening here in the courtroom right now?
Please mercy, I am not myself. Please help Sam. Lena fire. Nearly died. Need food. Chest and head. Now my legs.
You hear this very sad, garbled, dying robotic noise, like almost like an infant computer was trying to beg. Like if you can imagine some dystopian sci-fi AI, feed, help, need help, food. As her vocabulary begins to sort of dim and fade out. Sam, you rushed over to her. Are you doing a medical check or anything like that?
Yes, may I?
Yes, you may. And go ahead and roll your medicine and intelligence there.
Ooh, I'm going to use luck to reroll that 20.
You do want to reroll it, you said?
Yeah, the 20.
Go for it. Tough one still.
Well, it was a little bit better.
And that still counts as that's still 2 those successes, right? It said 2 a second ago, I think. Well, it's a crit, so yes. Yeah. I don't know why it changes that. So you go over to Raven. Do you remember how much you heal off of that? We're counting this as in combat, by the way. So it's like
is based. It's your medicine.
Yeah.
Skill, so 6.
6. Great. 6 points back for Raven. That's substantial. Raven, you heal 6 points. Sam is kneeling down, trying to tend to you. You see the flicker, the flames coming through. Outside of the courthouse, you hear weapons fire. You hear screams. A couple windows to the courthouse break. You can see glass spraying in. All of you are from your positions completely unprepared in where you are for what kind of magnitude is just coming through from the blast of light to now shards of glass coming in. You can hear the sounds of people falling out in the streets. You can hear people, you can even see out the courtroom door that some people are being trampled as the crowd that was stationed out there is beginning to retreat. You hear more Protectrons all in a desynchronized order saying, "Citizens, evacuate. This is now a free fire zone." The same thing you heard the mayor repeat a moment ago as they begin returning fire towards the direction of the warehouse area. Are people staying in here? Are people leaving? I will presume you don't have weapons on you aside from Raven if you're directly in the courthouse. Maybe you have a small sidearm. But I would imagine people are not even kitted out at this moment. Certainly not Jim himself. Where will you guys like to go or do the world's your oyster at this moment?
Go ahead.
Excuse me. I'm running to get whatever was taken from me, my weapons or whatever. I'm trying to get out of here.
So your weapons are probably on the boat still, I would presume, which is directly where the chaos is happening. So
Then
you're headed directly into the chaos?
The boat, yes. I'm getting on that boat.
Okay. So we'll have you, you can go outside. I'll say if you're using your major action, you could probably get as far. Oh, you want to go the back way and like try and get over that fence maybe?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll let that all go on one turn here. If you could roll a difficulty, probably 2 strength and athletics to get over. It's a tall wall. It's a double story sort of deal. So get up there, get over the other side. You see there's laser fire in both directions coming and going. You can see as you're getting there that there's some guards who are near the wall. Fantastic roll. Jim gets one back into the pool easily. Well, you even helped build this wall. You fought here before. You know that the ins and outs, the quirks of this. Jim gets up, sort of pole vaults himself over that top of it, coming down easily on the other side, and in a way that you're obscured by sort of the weeds in the bank there. You come over that in a way that whatever force is coming, you can quickly see, Jim, that the warehouse is completely decimated. There sits a small crater where that warehouse was previously. You can see that in and around it, especially near the, let me move our screen over for the people at home. So Jim got over this wall here. He's moving his way there. This one with I'll zoom in on it for people at home. This is what just exploded, this warehouse here, up in an absolute crater. There are humanoid figures you can kind of see over in this area, like in these street cornery type deals near the post office, who are returning fire with now the Protectrons who are coming down the street there. So Jim, we'll say in the next turn that you'd be able to get your way onto that boat. We'll consider that Sam's move, that's Jim's move. Raven, you are still terribly struck. Want to give you guys a moment to sort of above board even decide like what's your kind of plans of action. Jim, we know where Jim's going.
I myself, after Raven's turn, will likely kind of run and do very much the same thing as Jim. I'm going to try to get to the bunks that we usually stay out, where I left my stuff at.
Okay, your bunks, yes, directly in front of where all the street fighting is going on. What a time. I am going to put down some characters here. Of course, these are fill-in characters that I'm using on the screen. Okay, token. Okay. Got him. Hopefully this will work, because I've got so many NPCs on the frickin' map here. We're gonna blow up alchemy tonight, folks. So your Protectrons are responding. I don't know where they all are, but they're around here. Alfred's probably at the courthouse still. We'll say the Protectrons, they're responding quickly because they're already, like, part of that deal. They were already up there, kind of like, you know, watching out what was happening. Okay. Raven's typing. You should be, I think you need to maybe use an action to get back on your feet, but then you'd have your minor action to get going. At least that's what I'm going to say after you fell out of a courthouse or a rafter. Oops, I hit one of those Protectrons. Show.
I didn't do that, Lena. Get my bow. I must help the town people at my old clan. I am sorry, I must stop them, or they will, well, you know.
Lena, barely in the building, she's maybe sort of come back a little bit. She's like, I don't know what the hell to make of all of this. You damn cursed us all! She pulls her gun on you, Raven. Why shouldn't I shoot you dead here? You threatened to kill all of us! And the mayor looks at Lena and looks down at Raven and goes, confirmed, she threatened the entire town of Hope, saying she would kill everyone here if it were suiting her needs. You guys hear a continued scream. There is some gunfire going on out there. Sam, it's going to come up to your turn to make your run for that building.
I'm going to butt in on this conversation.
Sure.
And say that if you kill her, that's one less person to help defend this town. Now can we stop this madness and get done what needs to be done?
She just threatened to kill us all a moment ago. Are you all mad?
And Sam, for the first time, and I think the most stressful time in Sam's recent history of all these people, Lena points her laser rifle at you out of sheer desperation. This is in the moment of chaos and explosions and shattering glass and bullets hitting things and shrapnel from wood and the walls and the bricks flying. And Lena has a gun pointed at you in the courthouse. The mayor has his lasers pointed at Raven in the courthouse. And oddly enough, Jim, who had got out scot-free, the one who this whole thing was called for, is the only one who does not have lasers aimed at his head.
Lena, you are right, I said I could, but I didn't. Look, we don't have time, you can hang me later. Okay, I tell you everything, but let me help, I save you, form the APC.
Speech check, come on, when it matters, we gotta do speech check, Raven. I will crank this down to a difficulty 2. I can't go any lower. It's not that easy. You're not just asking to borrow sugar from a person with a low sugar stash. This is pretty serious. I mean, honestly, I think if you were more inclined to speech, she might even say difficulty 3. But because you gave her an impassioned plea, we'll take it down that 1. Also, you just got punished with a difficulty 5 a moment ago, but you did also threaten to kill a courtroom of people. And shot an arrow at them.
Did I?
Yes. You better get to rolling.
No.
Ah, you did.
Just trying to gaslight us now. It never happened.
Keep gaslighting. Lena's gonna...
Can I buy app?
Yes, you can. Yes. You've won in the poll, which means you could buy 1 die. And if you choose to purchase 2 more AP from me, you could have 2 dice. That's a difficulty. What did we say it was? Difficulty 2. So it's not huge, but it's not good for you. But you're the one making an impassioned plea to Lena. Sam can help.
Give me 2 die.
Okay. So taking that one away, and I give myself 2 more. And actually, I take those 2 away and 2 more because I used those extra major actions earlier. So
Thank God.
she needs 1 more success. So Sam, you're up. If Sam can roll, so on a 2 die roll, if you roll it that way, we'll take the one on the left. And I do believe you'll be able to re-roll that with your perk. 1 success.
Yes.
What does Sam say to back her up on that one?
Seeing as she's pointing a gun at me now, I'm just gonna make the comment that now you're pointing a gun at an unarmed person. What have we come to? Now, again, if you'll excuse us, there's work that needs to be done, and I have sworn to protect this town, and I'm not going to sit here and argue semantics while people are dying out there.
Wow. 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 Wow, 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 wow. Lena, in this moment, is flabbergasted. She goes silent, and she doesn't untrain the gun from you. She leaves it positioned. It's up to you, Sam, to trust and to walk out of the crosshairs, because Lena has seen an entirely different side of you guys today. And I think going through her mind, being as astute as both of you are, one in just general perception, Raven, and Sam being such a charismatic person, I think you would see that Lena, whose brain just got scrambled a bit ago, that she knows very little of what's going on here, nor does she have very good, senses of her surroundings from being in a short-term coma. You can see her piecing this together. Like, this to her is just like, oh my God, this trial was a lot more important than I thought. Like, you can just see this all calculated on her face, like, we shouldn't have given him a trial. We should have just killed him today. Like, this was a mistake. We should never have thought we could be civil to incivility. Like, you can't talk raiders down from being raiders. You gotta meet them at their level of violence or exceed it a little bit. Otherwise, this is what happens. And Sam, assuming you're good to move out at her grasp there, her sights, you could be free to make your move.
I'm going to use, whatever actions I can to try to get as far as I can.
Oh, sure.
I'm going to go down this way, go through this alleyway, and try to get up through there. Do you think I have enough to make it? Or I can chill right here for now.
Yeah, that's probably about it. Yeah, we'll put you there. We'll put you there for this turn. I will say that out of these people who are coming at the town, you do see a couple of them. You kind of hear the couple of them have gone down. I think on your way through, notice that there are some pretty banged up Protectrons there. Some that have taken some heavy hits. Really kind of, bits of their arm are missing. Kind of arm of a Protectron skid across the ground as it was blasted out of its joints there. It's a pretty harrowing fight, and I think, Sam, as you're running down the street, you see there's a plethora of dead people strewn throughout here. This was a very docile meetup. These were people that were just out here doing street festivity type of energy, and there's just a couple downed settlers here. it's a pretty gruesome fare. There's like I said, burning debris. There's still, there's this kind of cloud of burning debris that's starting to settle a little bit. It's not raining fire, but it is the whatever from the explosion, still plume of smoke into the air. The street there fairly hard to see, just billowing waves of dust out there obscuring. So some of these lasers that you're seeing fly down the street have that kind of very Star Wars in the fog effect of the clouds lighting up around those lasers as they fly. Yes, you make it to there. Jim will make it. Jim, we'll go to you here for a second, although I don't know what we're doing with Raven exactly. Raven, I think, just used her turn in trying to get out of that pickle. So we'll go to Jim. Jim, you're able to get onto the boat and grab your weapons if there's anything else you'd like to do on that turn. I'd say that's most of your action, but if there's anything just, environmentally or otherwise. So I'll say with that turn, we'll say you're able to fully get on the boat. You are able to rush down the stairs. You find your kit of goods. You undo your weapons. Skye's got to take a really quick AFK for the cats. So Jim, you get all suited up. What weapon are you pulling out as your primary for this fight?
Let me take a look here, because I'll take out the hunting rifle. Great.
And Raven, you are kind of recovering too while we got Sam stepped out. So, what's your kind of action next, Raven? Whether you're in the church, you're someone that likes range. You could go upwards, you could go out the street, you could go a lot of different directions. But we'll just say as you're Rusty, by the way, is in there with you, Raven. He's kind of rushed back into the room. You noticed that he went out. He hit up the loot room there. He went into the little closet here with all the town supplies, and he comes out with a big old blaster in hand. He's ready to take to the window. I see him go,
Raven, you need to get some height out of here. I can't get any good clean shots from this. I'm going out to the front to the streets. I hope you all know what you're doing with this, and boy, do I hope I'm not killed in the process.
And he just runs for the door. He's, I
gotta protect old Bessie!
And he goes out to protect where his Brahmin is. So old Rusty's getting up on the wall in that fight.
I try to pull myself up, trying to get up. I make my way upstairs. Come on, Rusty, we got this for Bestie.
Now, these are going to be, if you want to fire from here, Raven, these would be long-range shots. I think your bow is a medium-range weapon, which does have a bit of a difficulty hiccup for you, because at long range, this will add one difficulty to your shots. Let's make sure you are indeed. Yes, this is medium. So the difficulty of your shot goes up a bit just because it's so far away. I think you, Raven, are probably the first person who's ready to shoot if you'd like. But that's your choice. Sorry, I'm changing music, but also, I guess this thing can do multiple effects at once. That's a little bit of a stinker, so I can only have my soundtrack or a sound effect. Go with some fighting music. Okay, Raven's up there. If she's taking a shot, you guys can see.
Well, I had my gear on me, so I pick that up too and go for my rifle.
Sure, you're getting your rifle out. There are at least two people you can see immediately in the front lines. One that's stuck behind the building that you guys inhabit, and that would be the one that I'm zooming in here now on stream. These are listed as raiders, psychos, because of them as templates. Also, my ping on my screen is in the very wrong spot, so that's very weird. But those two would be the easiest ones for you to shoot at, Raven. This will be our last little bit here for the evening. We're running a little bit low on time, so for those here in the party, I'm gonna do some real round robin combat quickly. So while Raven is doing that, Sam, next turns through. You want to run into that building and get your stuff.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Run up here, grab my stuff, get it out.
And then we've got Jim, who's coming to the top of the boat as well. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. So why don't I have both of you guys go? Raven can do her damage stats too. You guys see the same targets. If you want to get into closer range, you absolutely can. Jim, you're probably at long range on that as well right now. And Sam, you're in a building, so obviously not line of sight. For you to do that turn though, Sam, I'm going to say all in one for you to go in there and get kitted out. I'll say even on that one turn, you could come to the door on your way out of that spot. And Jim, right now, you'd have a chance to move. Feel free to speak up and interrupt that, but I'm just trying to keep it.
Okay.
So, Jim, where do you want to go to? What's your ideal zone you want to start firing from?
I wanna move over to here.
Okay, sure, yes. That building has now a clean line of sight to some of these people in the streets with only smoldering debris and a large crater in this that warehouse next to it. So Jim does have line of sight on that cultist over here. Raider, whatever they are. Psychos.
All right. That was my major to move, right?
That'd be your minor to move that one.
Okay, then I'll go ahead. I'll go ahead and shoot one.
Go for it.
All
We'll say
right,
that's medium range there too. Hit! Okay, let's roll us up that damage. And while Jim rolls some damage for that person, Skye, where were you going to? You're on your one to come out, and Raven, did you decide on your shot? Aiming at the chest dive center mass.
Yes.
When you make a ranged attack, you may choose to strike your target's torso location or equivalent. Use a different without increasing the difficulty of the attack. In addition, you may re-roll 1d20 when making the test for your attack. Got it. So you're aiming at the torso, so no difficulty increase. However, this is still a difficulty 2 because of the range. But you may re-roll 1 now. You may also use your aim action at this stage. So you could aim. Okay, great. Well, you need to roll your actual chance to hit there, Raven, instead of your damage for it. But Jim logged in a good 6 points of damage to, we're going to say, the left arm of this person here. So 6 points of damage to their left arm. That is painful. And that also is a crit to the arm. Let me make sure they have no equipment or anything that takes away from that. It might. No, they don't. Okay, I go. Bam! Bad hit to that one. They're holding the gun. What did we say? This left arm. They're still holding their gun in their other hand, but you see them take a massive hunch over hit, and that is the same one that Raven gets 4 successes on, which means 2 points back to the action point pool for the team, courtesy of Raven. Thank you to whomever put that in there. And you did another 3 points of damage to their... Oh, you said torso already, but it rolled torso. That's funny. So 3 points of damage to the torso. They have a point of resistance on there, so there we go. Okay. Sam, that takes us back to you then. We're going to quickly redo that loop.
All right. Am I able to leave out of here?
Yes.
And get to here?
Yes,
Perfect.
yes. That would be, you could do that as your minor action move, correct.
All right, so I will kind of take cover right here, and I
Sure.
will use my enraging shotgun,
Great.
and I will shoot at the raider psycho in front of me.
Sure. At this close of range, Sam, you also notice, as I sort of Freudian slipped a second ago, that these are not raider psychos, but instead the very similar tapestry of the Mothman cultists here.
I grit my teeth, and I let it go.
Hit.
Perfect.
Bam! 3 points of damage to that person's torso, which is 2 points of damage to their torso. Okay. I am going to pivot over to that person, that raider now. They are going to, having seen you be this close, Sam, they are going to whip around their double-barrel shotgun at your location. And I believe one will hit you, one success to hit. They landed a smashing 7 points of damage to your right arm. And let me see, because they probably have vicious on here, huh? Which is... Oh, they actually... I'm surprised, I guess, maybe it's vicious. This is usually the other one. Inflicts plus 1 point of damage for each effect rolled, and they did 3. So sorry, Sam, you're getting an even bigger. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 points of damage to the right arm. Your right arm is just, I mean, in practicality, obliterated. In this case, it is completely broken. If you were holding a weapon in that arm, I believe you drop that. Let me make sure. Critical's the basics. Arm, you drop any object held in your right hand. The arm is broken or otherwise unable to move. You cannot perform any actions using the arm by itself or along with your other arm. You do, as a doctor, have the ability to help with that. And again, that damage that was dealt, they don't have a piercing on this weapon, just vicious. So that was all of the damage they dealt. If you have armor on your right arm, you need to take some of that 10 away.
2.
So 8 points of damage to Sam's right arm. I will assume that means he drops his rifle he was using as well.
Yes.
Okay. We are going with the other raider, who now is after Jim, who, that one's firing back at you. This one is in much worse shape. This one is going to... I'm going to use, I think 2 minor actions. I'm going to spend an AP because I'm going to make them spend something to try and traverse this pit that's here. They want to get closer to you, Jim. But I think I'm making them take an AP out of the pool just to try and navigate what is this massive crater. And the same, they're using a shotgun as well. They get 0 successes on this, Jim, so that first one misses. I'm going to spend 2 more AP. Since you guys gave me so much today, I'm going to do another shot at you, Jim. This ups their difficulty by 1. They do get 2 successes on you, Jim. That's crazy, because they were missing. Now, straight to your torso, you take a double-barrel shotgun blast with 2, 4, 5, 6 points of damage, plus 2, 8 points of damage, Jim, directly to the chest. Blam! How much damage resistance, physical DR, do you have on your chest?
Let me double check. I mean, I think I know, but I just want to make sure.
You're all good. Raven, you're coming back up here too on this one. Keep in mind, that first one that's going after Jim is in really bad shape.
1.
1 DR. So you take, what we say was 8 damage, you take 7 damage to the chest, which 7, you begin to bleed heavily. At the end of subsequent turns, you suffer 2d6 of physical damage, so 2 combat dice of physical damage. We need to track that for you. Does that put us back around? Pardon my brain here. So I just did those 2. So I think we're back to Jim and Raven. I'm doing Jim, Raven, and then Sam, and then the raider, the raider psychos that I'm have on my list. Sorry, I would use the tracker in game. And by the way, as an above board thing, we're really thinking of moving to Foundry here soon. I've talked about this on and off with my players briefly, very, very briefly, but Alchemy just doesn't do what we need it to do. I'd love it if it did. It's a pretty easy buy-in system, and all all said and done, I mean, it's really nice, but you guys, the battle maps need to work. It's not optional. I get it. I get it. It's like, you probably think I'm saying like, oh, Kyle, you don't like the brand of sprinkles we're putting on the ice cream. The sprinkles don't matter. It's the ice cream that matters. The battle map is the ice cream in this analogy or metaphor. Like, we need that to work. If the players can't see where the bad guys are, is it even worth having a battle map? Elka-May.
I take aim at Mothman, heading to Jim right at the chest.
Okay, got it, Raven. Got it. Go ahead. Cast those dice. Three successes. Raven's just generating that AP. That's one back into your pool, because again, you're still at 2. You've now dealt 5 points of damage to... Are you still aiming center mass? I don't know. That lets you re-roll something, so...
Yes.
Did Raven have an option to re-roll earlier, too, and we just didn't use it? I'm not going to search that up, but there's a chance we didn't use your re-roll earlier. Okay, so that is the torso. They have 1 point of damage resistance. 4 points of damage on that psycho, then. Actually, this one does not. Sorry, I'm looking at his stats. He does not have the resistance. Raven, you literally put that person down. That psycho that's near Jim, well, that cultist who's near Jim, who is ready to finish the job, an arrow right to the back, right to the spine, and this person goes down right in front of you, Jim. Dead Mothman cultist. Jim, that brings us to you to carry out an action. Now you're a little bit far from it. You see that Sam's got some conflict down there in the street. I will also reveal my hand that there is another raider that Jim might pick up on who, well, again, cultist. Sorry, everybody. I need to make my own tokens for this. But there's a cultist that's kind of milling around the backside of that building, Jim. I'll give it that in this position, you pick up on that. Like, you kind of have gotten that, that battle instinct out of the corner of your eye. You know someone's back there, that it's not all clean and clear on your path here. And I'm going to move that in for other people at home and show that it's that raider right here. This cultist has come out around the side of the building. The one that was up here next to Jim died. So what's Jim up to?
I'm crawling back in because I'm hurt. I gotta get my stim pack out and use it.
Go for it. I think a stim pack is a minor action.
Yeah.
So you would still be able to do a major action if you'd like, but I suppose you technically, I mean, you could forfeit your major action to move inside, and then your minor action is to take your chem.
Yes.
Or you could still utilize some of that if you wanted to do it in a different way. Like, you could spend an AP to take that chem, you could move and shoot still.
No, I'll just do the first way.
Okay. Then very good. Then Jim will end his turn in there, yielding it over to Sam in his bloody alleyway battle here with this cultist.
I will use a minor action stim pack to heal my arm.
Sure. Great. So no health back, but you've recovered it, so it's functional again.
I will pay 1 to pick up my gun.
Sure.
So I get another minor action, and I will use my major to attack him.
Got it. Go for it, Sam.
I'm going to use luck.
Sure. No successes on that attempt. 1 success. Perfect. Lovely. That's what you need. Oh, nice. What's that? 4 points? God. Oh, that has the complicated math to it.
Yes. 4 and then 2, so like 6, and then it also has piercing. It didn't pop up before because my message was messed up.
Oh, got you. So this is piercing. Okay. So put that damage in.
I will also pay 1 luck to make this guy enraged with my new legendary effect that I have on this gun.
Oh, how does that work? What's this do? Tell us.
So I pay 1 luck, and it makes them enraged. Assuming I do damage on them, it makes them enraged. An enraged enemy must, for the rest of the scene, attack the nearest enemy they can see.
Nearest enemy they can see. Rough, because right now that's you.
I know, but you know, I see this guy sneaking up over here.
For sure. I don't know that Sam would, but you do.
Yeah, I mean, I do. I guess it's a little a little above board.
Okay, so they have to just attack the nearest enemy near them. Well, like I said, that oddly enough is you for this. So, look out, Sam. How's Sam doing for health now?
We have 2 from Well Rested, right?
Yes.
I'm doing okay. I'm at 15.
Okay, great. I was scared after those hits. Okay. Sam's done his attack. It's time for these guys to attack. So Sam, the one that you just enraged, you see this just furious anger in his eyes as he goes, and he is going to throw a Molotov cocktail in your direction. You, after that shot, you see him kind of fall down kind of a bit into the kind of the debris, the mailboxes and all that. And that's sort of the last clear shot Sam gets on him before you see right over that very same mailbox come hurtling a Molotov. He hits on that. It is technically hitting your right arm for what it's worth. Again, this is 4 points of damage. This is persistent energy damage. So this comes back to you. Also, so Jim, pardon me, let's go back just briefly to Jim's turn. So you had gone inside, you'd used a stim pack. Is that right, Jim?
Yes.
So did you take health points back of 4, or did you heal that injury?
I took the health points back up a bit.
It's your choice, but the way the game works. Yeah.
So I could heal the injury if I wanted to.
Correct. Yes, that's why I want to go back and give you this option. You can either take 4 health points, or you can seal the bleeding up on your chest. That would be the better way to go, I think.
Oh yeah, then I'll heal it back up.
Great. So take those 4 points out of your health, and now you do not take persistent damage. That's what I was about to come back around and see if you had to take any more. But no, well, so you lose the 4 health, but you are now not bleeding out through the chest. All that damage from a massive shotgun blast begins to heal over as you kind of sit back in one of those chairs in that waiting room area. We have lost that cultist, or I should say, even the one that was up there. Oh, wait, no, pardon. No one's lost. I lost. This other one down here now that is enraged and is throwing a Molotov at Sam also turns, uses his action, some extras, and he is going to fire at the Protectron down the way here that's still coming down this path. So let's go ahead and fire. 3 points of damage to a Protectron down the way. Okay. Nothing major on that one. A little distance to a shot, too. As Sam rightfully said, or noted, we do have another raider coming up the side here. Sam, he is coming to you in the alleyway. It's more of a surprise to him that he's even running into you down there. He's going to go for an attack on you as well. This guy coming in with a machete. I'm going to spend an extra point to make sure he can get there in one piece. He comes in the whole way on you. And he still swings and misses. And I'm going to see if I can take 2 more out of my pool and give him an even more difficult one. Come on, buddy. Oh, he gets it. He clears the damage threshold on that. Sam coming right over that, coming right over the dumpster. You see this cultist almost jump with what seems a little bit like a supernatural strength to him. The way he pole vaults over, it lands next to you. The first swing of his machete right into the brick wall next to you. But in his pulling it back, he whips around. This one, Sam, not so agile to dodge. 5 points as his machete collides with your head. 5-point damage to the head. You have damage resistance. He has even if you do, he's rolled 2 piercings on it, meaning he can pierce through 2 points of armor to deal his 5 points of damage.
Okay, so he hits all 5.
He hits. Your head, momentarily dazed, lose your normal actions in your next turn, though you can spend AP. Further, you cannot see clearly. This will increase the difficulty of all tests which rely on vision by 2. I will say as this one is coming in the alley and attacking you, Sam, there is one of the Protectrons, and I'll try and get him on the screen here if I can add one in here for us. One of the police Protectrons is coming down your alley, though. You hear these very, generic, "Citizens, please stand away from any combat zones. We ask all citizens to please retreat. Please retreat into safety until law enforcement can bring this situation under control. The city and the mayor ask that you please stand by in these times of crisis. We thank you for your compliance." And this guy begins to walk down the alleyway here, and he's going to go ahead and fire. Then he sees he sees the person attacking you. He gets a whopping, that's a great hit for him. How much does this guy have left? 3. He takes that guy. He takes a huge amount of the health out of the one next to you, Sam, dealing 8 points of damage to that one. That guy that came after you. You're knocked, I would imagine, aesthetically knocked to the ground, bleeding profusely out of the side of the head as that machete made contact. And probably the only thing that saved Sam from getting his head sawed in half is seeing that same cultist hit with multiple laser blasts as parts of their robe catch fire, them backing off into the kind of dumpstered alley here, looking for a little bit of cover. And that takes us on from that one back to Raven. Raven, let's try and wrap this up, this combat here in the next 15 if we can, gang. We'll get out of here in an orderly fashion tonight. Raven, what you got for us? Lay it on us. And then Jim, you're up next. Sam, you're on deck after that. You got 3 raiders that we have eyes on. 2 of them are in really bad shape, and the third one is doing pretty okay.
Can I see any more where I'm at?
Yes, you can see the one that's outside of Jim's area up there, Raven. I don't know if it's showing on your screen, but the one that's right next to the warehouse.
Okay.
So you can shoot at that one if you'd like. I'll say also these Protectrons are making their way down the street as they're considering these areas to be sort of cleared. They're making sort of a police wall, even as loose as they can, of, two Protectrons up there. The one went down towards Sam. There's probably one more out there. And then there's the mayor that was in the building. He's probably come out to the street to join that line. We'll say he's coming up this way too. He's probably
Take aim and center mass that turkey.
Sure. Go for it, Raven. Center mass that turkey. You can aim too, by the way, if you'd like to use that as your minor action. So with an aim and center mass, you can reroll both of those dice. So why don't you go ahead and do that for us? Unless you hate the idea of aim, in which case you don't have to. But 1 success. That arrow falls short. You see it just, it's kind of, that person's probably obscured in the smoke over there. That's kind of barring them from it. So that puts us back to Jim. You're up next. You're inside. There's the one cultist who's coming out. He doesn't really seem too directly interested in that building, so you presume he doesn't really know you're in there, but you kind of see him out the window, you know, right behind where you saw Rusty sitting at that counter before. You can kind of see him pass by there. So, Jim, if you're ready.
Yes. Let me see here. I'm curious. Oh, okay, yeah, okay, cool. So then I'm gonna pull out my double-barrel shotgun.
Sure. Minor action.
Pull that out, and then that's my minor. Okay, then I'm gonna kind of move a bit here, and then I'm gonna go ahead and shoot.
Fair enough. That works for me. So you can even, you know, hit him through any of those windowed spots. So let's. No successes.
Not even with a shotgun.
You could roll some luck if you want to spend some. Probably a good time. I mean, you're all in town now, so probably not a bad time to use luck. Although you might need it later for something before it refreshes, but you could always re-roll one of those. So.
All right, I'll re-roll.
Okay, that's a luck point.
Oh my god! Oh,
nothing. Shoot. Unless Jim wants to spend AP to shoot, that's it for him.
Well, folks, that's it for me.
That's it for him. Okay. That puts us back to Sam, who's in an alley with 2 cultists and a Protectron.
I will pay 1 to heal my head. Because I have to use AP to move, right?
Yes, you do. Oh, I'm so yes, you do. Let's double check that roll again. So it said because this is a headshot, you lose your normal actions, both minor and major, on your next turn, though you can spend AP for extra actions as normal.
So I'll pop a stim pack into the dome.
Okay, so you're spending 1 AP to use a minor to stim pack the old noggin.
Yes.
Okay.
And I would like to use another one, if possible, to stim pack my arm that's on fire.
That's a great question. I'm just curious. I'm keen to let this happen, but how does that layer of things work? Because you are spending 1 to heal it. There's probably some rule that says, like, well, it doesn't happen until your next turn, but I'm letting you do it even if it isn't a rule, whatever. It checks out. The math's out to me. So you are double stim packing on that turn. Okay.
Yes.
Got it.
And then can I pay 2 more to do a minor or to do a major?
Ooh, so you have used the 2 AP that were in your pool, right?
Yes.
And now you're looking to spend, you'd be going into the negatives, buying 2 from me?
Yes.
I don't think it lets you do that on a, I think you have to buy it during a test. I don't know if you get your major turn back or not. You know what? I'm keen to let it happen because this is the heat of the moment, but just don't hold it against me in the future if there's ever a different ruling on that. I think technically the game probably wants to be ruled a little bit slower, but I like this fight, so go for it. I'll let that happen.
Okay. Because I gotta use medicine.
So I'm getting 2 AP back to my pool then. And your difficulty then goes up on this test or not because of a perk?
Action boy.
Gotcha. Nice. Great. 1 back to the pool then.
So I'll heal up 6 AP or 6 HP with that.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's all correct.
And I'm good to pass it on now.
Awesome. Okay, except that means it's coming to these guys. And I'm going to say that the raider who's been picking on you the most is afflicted by the enrage. And so they're going to go for the Protectrons that are really coming close to them. 2 successes. That's 5 points of damage plus 3. They do 8 points of damage, blasting one of the Protectrons that unfortunately succumbs to its damages. The one Protectron is down here in the street. The Raider is going to, use more on the next one. Blam, 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 blam! And, did it not roll everything I needed? It rolled damage, but it didn't roll its chance to hit. Is there something wrong here? Okay. That one misses. Okay. So that guy's done. Now, the one that's with you in the alley by the dumpster, this one who had a machete out. Are they going to machete again? I think they're going to minor action to pull back out one of their shotguns. It's a very shotgun-heavy crew tonight. And they're taking aim at you, Sam. Sam loves shotguns, and for once, they're coming back his way. They get 1 success on that with 4 points of damage. Make that 5 points of damage to your left leg. Damage resistance for your left leg, please.
Oof, I'm not wearing anything. Oh no.
So that is a crippling effect to the leg. You immediately fall prone as your leg gives out under your weight. You can no longer take the sprint action, and the move action is now major. Unfortunately, spending 2 more of my action points, this person rolls 3 successes, meaning they get another hit on you, and I also get a point back to my pole. They have now done 2, 4, 6 damage plus 2. That makes 8 to your head, Sam. Another 8 from their second shotgun blast.
Is there no piercing?
No piercing.
Okay. Good lord. I have 2 damage resistance.
Oh, good. So that takes it down. So that's just 6.
I have 1 HP left.
No.
Oh my god.
Hang in there, Sam.
Oh my gosh.
You got this.
Okay. Pray for the Protectron, not Sam. Protectron, number whatever. Police Protectron comes around the corner, and Citizen, it was requested that you take shelter in this time. And he sort of like pushes past your sort of like totally dazed, like I don't even know what shape Sam's in. Protectron does great, gets 3 more points of damage on this person. They do not have much health left. We will have that Protectron fire again. And that Protectron does it. That is by the absolute skin of its teeth. That is enough. That one is down. That one is dead. That Raider is just, I want to say almost in a sense, just absolutely pasted against the wall. That Protectron marching right over you, Sam. This is one of those rare moments where from that vantage point, you see how absolutely deadly and destructive these machines can be, though they're kind of made fun of and sort of laughed off as these just really like clunky, brutish bots. They're not nearly as finessed and agile as a Mr. Handy, but you see how, especially in a pre-war situation against unarmed protesters, this thing physically takes up the entire alleyway. You could just hear the bellowing voice from its vocabulator ring through the streets as it's telling you, like, get out of the way. You can really see how cold, and I don't even want to say calculating it is, it's just following a parameter as you look over and see where it's blasting, and it is disintegrating bits of this guy up against the walls. He's completely pinned, and you see shot after shot just evaporating, vaporizing pieces of their face, their skin, their skull, until just a loose husk of clothing falls, in a pile there as it begins to turn and head up this direction, now blocking that path for you. So now we are back to Raven as she has eyes on one last cultist in her sight. Technically two, but she's after the one that's near Jim. So let's pivot to that and see if we can bring this thing to a close, folks. Go for it, Raven. What's your damage on Raider? This is number 2. And then Jim, if you want to also get a little ahead on this too, let's see. What's this person's health at? I'll let you know how they're doing. This one is at full health over here, so Jim, you can plan on going full.
I take aim with my rifle center, mass him.
Go for it, Raven. Let's see that damage. Oh, well, you've been aiming on it. We've been, saying that you're aiming here. So you can re-roll that 20. The one success is not... Is that hunting rifle? What rifle is this? That rifle, is it medium or long range? I don't know if the rifle is difficulty 1 or it's probably medium range, I guess.
Knit sure.
Is it the hunting rifle?
Good question. I think it's that one probably. Medium range, so her difficulty is probably a 2 on that.
Yes, with scope.
I don't know if the scope does. What's the scope do? You'll have to have a note about that. I do not. Well, you need to re-roll that 20. Let's go fast here. I really want to wrap this up in the next 4 minutes. So.
I did.
Not on my screen. Did you re-roll another 20? 2 20s in a row? I see that you did not re-roll that 20. Let me know what you got if you did re-roll it. I'll move on to Jim, though, in the meantime. Jim, what's your damage? What are you doing to this guy?
Let's see. Okay, well, I have my shotgun still, so I'm going to use that.
Go for it. While you do your damage numbers with a shotgun, Raven successfully connected her, so let's see some damage numbers from Raven. Jim, you got a hit on them as well. Let's see some damage numbers from you. And then Sam, you're back up on deck here in a moment. So Raven slams them with 5 points of damage to the chest. That's wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Slam that person. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Okay, and what's Jim dealing out?
Let me see here. Quick.
I do think Raven got 3 successes from that, technically, because she got a crit.
Okay, all right.
Oh, yes, good call. So she gets 1 action point back to the pool. Thanks, Sam. Skye, I appreciate that. That's very good. Good catch. I'm glad you did that. Thank you for this. There's someone else doing it.
Okay.
Okay, 4 points of damage. This person's looking pretty dang hurt, you guys. They've got a maximum of 5 health left. So that takes us back to Sam then. Sam, what do you got for us, man? You're hurt. Hurt.
Yeah. So am I concussed again?
Yes, you are, unfortunately. You go.
Okay.
Woo!
I mean, I guess I'll... Because, hopefully they're about to kill him. So, I don't know what I should do to try to minimize, using a whole bunch of stuff. Maybe I will, I'll pay 1 to just use a stim pack on myself so that I at least heal up from 1 HP.
Before you commit to that, just to say that you are sort of effectively out of that guy's line of sight for this moment, because they do have a swarm. They have 2 Protectrons closing in on them in sort of a pincer movement, and that one is pretty well obscuring you in the alleyway, especially seeing as you could slide around where that red rocket sign is. I think that's a red rocket sign, yeah. And you could scoot into that alley if you don't want to pay something crazy, because above board, this battle is coming to a close. So if you don't want to spend too many stim packs too quickly, you could sort of surrender in a sense. You could just kind of lay back and just pass out in an alley.
Yeah, I'll stumble a bit with my horrible, like, broken foot that's like mangled, and I'll kind of, with this billboard here, I'll take a bloodied hand and like just like wipe it across it while falling down, and I'll fall to the ground.
Hell yeah. Sam passed out in the aftermath. It's sort of almost poetically right after Sam passes out as he's losing consciousness. One of the last things he hears is the booming, echoing voices of the Protectrons down that alley, moving further and further away. Protester, please relinquish your weapons. All violence against police Protectrons is considered felony offenses. You have been warned. You just hear so much weapons fire continue, like over top of their vocabulators. They're just weapons blasting lasers. And until it comes to a halt, Sam passes out as that's going on in the background. And that cultist there in that alleyway comes to a close, leaving us with just one more as the Protectrons sort of lurch up, moving a little bit closer towards Jim and Raven's location. Can Jim and Raven take out this person on their last go? Why don't you two do those damage calculations for us one more time? I'm assuming no one's doing anything too crazy. Maybe they are, but I doubt it. Who's got what on this one last cultist? Drop us some numbers.
Take aim and go, Agent.
Jim's got a hit coming in.
Yep.
Okay, Jim. Is that your damage with it right above it, Jim? Is that, or am I mistaken? That's from the previous one? Yeah,
That's the previous one.
Okay, go ahead and roll up that damage. You connected. Raven, you didn't, but you can re-roll the 14, or the 19. Jim gets 3 points of damage. Raven hits.
Yeah.
Okay. And what do we got? What's the damage from Raven? Because Jim took him down to 1 HP.
Yeah.
There we go! Jim blasts him, and as he does, an arrow hits them as well. That cultist.
Pink mist.
Oh, pink mist. right in front of as Jim and Raven both blast into that. And that is where we're going to call this episode to a close with a Jim out there covered in a pink mist from blasting this cultist. I believe a still somewhat strongly wounded Raven up in the belfry of that tower, and one doggo who's trying to get me to take him outside for a potty break. So everybody that joined us tonight, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for coming out and joining us live here on Twitch, twitch.tv/Overseer Kyle. I want to thank my players. I want to thank Skye, who played his character Sam tonight, and DK, who played his character Jim tonight. We got a Raven who is in voice with us, who played, Mac Raven, who played her character Raven. And they did a phenomenal job. It was very, very fun tonight. What a absolutely stellar night. And the town of Hope is in tatters. One might even say Hope is in tatters. So everyone, in the meantime, you can look out for our behind the scenes decompress episode called our case review. Ooh, don't I have a scene for that? Oh no, does he have a scene for this? Or did he not make it yet? I'm going to it. Yes, hello. Okay, we got a quick scene here to shout out the things. Bottom row, Tales from Tomorrow. That's what we did tonight. Next to it, Overseer's Log. I release those on Saturdays. They're a GM, a game master, campaign diary. I talk about everything that's going on in the network, but I also talk about the last episode in retrospect at the time. But the case review is what we're going to go off and record in just a moment here. That is our decompress after the show, our critical after show evaluation. Top row, though, let's shout out some special mentions here. Vault Broadcast has been phenomenal. That is on my second YouTube channel, Overseer Kyle. That is just such a cool way to meet creators in the Fallout space. It is just filled with people who make physical art, like prop makers, there's cosplayers, there's podcasters, there's other TTRPG players, and just today, that unlocked the door to such a cool occasion. I got interviewed by 2 German comrades who wanted to talk about the Fallout stuff that I do, talk about all the politics that I had bet into it, and it was such a fun episode. And as soon as I get some more information on when that episode airs and if it's public, I don't know if it's for their members or if it's wide to the audience, but once I know more information, I will share that out with people. But if you want to go check out Kelly's episode, that was Kelly So go give Kelly some love. You can, again, go see that. Go to vaultbroadcast.com to go straight to our Substack. That will send you to all those episodes straight up. Or you can go to overseerkyle.com for links to everything that you're seeing here, all of it. If you want to get on the mailing list for this show, you can, again, overseerkyle.com, but you can go straight to tftfallout.com if you want to go straight to that Substack, straight to that mailing list, get your name on there. I do also want to shout out for Vault Broadcast that we are going to be doing a roundtable. I think if the stars align and everything goes the way I want it to, on Friday nights, we will have a roundtable of some of your favorite Fallout creators as we recap Fallout news from the week. There's a lot happening. If there's ever going to be a weekly Fallout news show, now is the time to do it, when there's talks of remakes and there's talks of the new season and all kinds of stuff. There's new merch coming out every day. So we're going to get ready to do that every Friday night. It'll be a recap. You can ask questions. And then afterwards, we're going to go in to Fallout 76 on PC. And that's where I will leave you all with an apology. We didn't stream any of it the last week because my one computer is nothing other than the formal scientific term cursed. My one computer is so flippin' cursed right now. I've chased every tech problem to the last inches of the earth, and it is still there. It is still screwed up, even after a Windows reinstall and so much more. So I think today a capture card hopefully got delivered to me, and if it is there when I get back, then I will be able to stream some 76 for you this week. But that's going to do it for today. That's going to be it. I got to go record an episode with these folks here. We're going to get them all out and in time for bed. So thank you to everyone out there. And again, a massive thank you to all of our players. So until next week, you stay safe out there in the wasteland. Bye-bye.